So for what it's worth, their clothes are sort of a reddish brown. They've taken on more of a brownish hue here. I really wonder. They've taken on a rather brownish hue. I mean, they're really red here. Let's take a look at an older one. Yeah, look how red that is. Why did I seem to forget what that is here? Let's see if we can't go to the red layer. What's this? That's that. Okay, don't worry about that. Let's see if we can just isolate. I've done some committing here, so isolating the reds might not be, might not be the easiest thing. On the other hand, I might be in a place where I can do it, so I'm going to do it. Isolate that. Isolate this. This I don't want to touch. Or maybe I do. Or maybe, let's see what... Oh, yeah, that's already there too. Alright, so what do I... Oh, I keep forgetting to use the additive. Alright, so I got these isolated and I want to get the red back in. There we go. So I saturated it and maybe some more saturation. Yeah, 40% saturation and luminosity. It's supposed to be reddish brown. If I say okay to that, and then go here, there's something very red. I suppose it's, that's good enough. It really doesn't matter. Now here, I've caused a problem. So we gotta isolate this. And we gotta get the saturation back in there. Oh, am I on red? Cancel. Red. Red, okay, so I got that. And I'm gonna do this. And luminosity way up there. Way down there. The issue with the luminosity, what I was gonna explain, saturation, was that I need to have a very desaturated version of the red here, because if this crow, if his face doesn't show through, but I still want it red. I'm talking about the clothes there. I want the clothes red, but you gotta be able to see that crow's face. Alright. So that's why I'm like focusing just on this panel. This panel is gonna be unique among the others in that They are going to be colored specifically so that this crow, I don't want to obliterate the crow. And this deep color here just obliterates the crow. So now to take what I did with the red and the yellow and do something so that it doesn't look orange but rather looks brown. So we start by taking out a lot of the magenta, and then we're going to take out a lot of yellow. %60 yellow. The problem is we need some blue. Cyan, I should say. Now what I don't like is how I forget color combinations. It'd be a lot easier. I'm just mumbling anyway. Now the problem is, yeah, the blue, oh yes, that's right. That's how it works. The blue will make brown. The blue will make brown as long as red is there to change the yellow to orange. It's a very strange combination, but I keep practicing it for two reasons that are obvious to me, but you may not even know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm certainly not the king of clarity. Let me demonstrate by taking the blue out. There, now we've got some nice brown coloring. Alright? And I think that works for this panel because all I care about is this crow right now. Alright, so there they are. Now we gotta do the blue shirts. Let's do that. So before I flip-flop, so I'm gonna commit to the, I'm gonna get more of that blue out of there. It's looking a little green. Oh, I know, it's looking a little green because of the yellow. The yellow is full force. The yellow might have been taken down a little, but not much. So now we're talking about some brown, right? Alright, good. Alright, let's commit that. Let's commit the magenta and let's go. Z, don't commit the magenta. The magenta was on opacity. Let's see if we can fix that with the luminosity, which we can. Just get it up to about 50%. Maybe, yeah. %50. It's fine. Okay, so now commit that. See, sometimes you have to change the opacity, what is it? The transparency of the layer. If you change that, you're not dealing with mud. You know, because, well, never mind why. Let's see now. What happens next is we're going to do the exact same trick for these trees, except we're just probably going to go for a different, a more greener brown. So this is going to be the cyan. May as well do these while we're on this color. Or um, facsimile of this color anyway. I mean, the logic behind this, if there needs to be any, is that their shoes are made out of wood, and so are the trees, right? Okay, so that's done. So now to the magenta. And I'm using the wrong tool. Magenta. Now see, this is why. I gotta make this transparent so I can see, because otherwise it just turns to mud. But I don't want to forget and think that this is the color I'm working with, because it's not. This is a transparent version. And of course, it kind of looks cool just because it's different. Oh, the trees are purple. No, they're not purple. Go to the yellow and do that one. Where are we here? The other thing about the magenta, not the magenta, another thing I'm forgetting is my little cyan trick. I forgot that here. The cyan trick is this shortcut key. Okay, so now the cyan trick, I made the mistake, but that's okay. The cyan, this whole cyan layer is going zip. Yeah, it's gotta go at least that much. Okay, and now I'm gonna try the yellow, get some of that yellow out. There's a lot of things I'm trying to remember right now. This, I forgot to undo that. So that's gonna have to be greatly reduced. We want it brown, but sort of greenish. I want it brown, but sort of greenish. That means time to take more of this blue out. Let me see now. This blue needs to be yanked from here, cut and paste. This blue needs to get committed. No, don't do it with the selection. Okay. Now this is an empty layer. It goes goodbye. This layer has the trees on it. And as you can see, or as I can see, I want to try and lessen the amount of green, but not to the point where they look brown. So yeah, playing a little game here. Come on. I hate. Okay, so that's. I'm gonna go 20. I mean, I like the way it looks. I don't know any reason to make it any different. Why don't we commit that? Commit, commit. Everything's committed. Now back to the drawing board. Let's do the cyan. This young man has a blue shirt. Just trying to think what else needs to be blue. All of this needs to be blue, but we don't want to run into problems with this blue. Alright, so anyway, this blue is going to get the magic dusting, and then it's going to get luminosidized, and we'll just do 40%. Whoops, and I want to desaturate it. Maybe 40% as well. Alright, now may as well get this over with. I think I should have done all these trees like this and all these bushes like this, blah blah blah. I mean, I have to do these trees. Let's see, where have I, yeah, this. Okay, so we can commit that. That's not an important thing. No one thing is important. I gotta do these trees. I mean, as well, they may as well be similar to these trees. There's no reason that they shouldn't be. So we'll start with the blue. The cyan. There's no fast way to do it. Please try to remember to change this transparency back to 100%. I have the transparency set to 50% so that I can see what I'm doing, because this magenta plus cyan just amounts to very close to black, and I can't see what I'm doing. But I don't want to then go ahead and make changes to arrive at the color I'm looking for with the transparency on, because I'm not working with the right That's not gonna work. Transparency must be set back to normal. So I'm gonna get to that point in just a moment. Now, so now it's time to do the yellow. So if I turn this back to normal, it's one or the other. It's either the blue or the magenta or both. Anyway, yellow now. Yellow now. Okay. Now, gotta get the mud back. And we have to make more mud. Get in here and get this at least 65%. Then get in here. I think I might have to rethink what I'm doing here. Yeah, definitely. Me too. Say 20. What do we got over? Go 20. We gotta get some blue in here and get some red out. There we go. There's different ways to get there, but they amount to just reversing the warmth or the cool. Going deeper into green. Trying to get them to match. carried away. So what I want to do is I got to get rid of the red. That's where I was, I know. And I'll get rid of enough red and it turns genuinely green. So let's get the red down to 40. But the yellow, I think we want that up higher, yeah, so that we get a... Put this at 0 and bring the saturation down for brown. But we want that green. Now I think if we just... See, it's funny because I'm going back and forth, but I am getting closer. Saturation. Oh, no, saturation up. There we go. That's what I want. I want these two things to seem different. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Thank you. I completely stumbled upon a color like an explanation in my own mind of why these colors would be like this. Yeah, this is going to be all muted, and comparatively this is going to have more green in it, indicating the day, and this is indicating night. So yeah, it's something that I wanted that I didn't know I was going to just do. But I'm trying to use color to tell the story. Warm colors, cool colors, and muted colors, and things like that. Or at least that's what I think I'm doing. So now what I better do is get to work on... Well, the first thing I'll do is save this. And now I'm going to be a brave soul. I could just cheat, go to my ink layer, am I still on my... Up. Okay, hold on there. I see what we will just do this the right way. Let's see, first we'll make sure we got minus, And then we'll go, stay with minus, go like this. Alright, now okay, now I go to blue. I better make a selection layer out of this. Oh, I guess I gotta add. Alright, add. No, wait a minute. Yes, this is exactly what I want. Okay, so I need this here. So I take something and paint it in. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is just black anyway. Alright, so let's see if I can figure out what I'm doing here. So I got my selection layer here. I may as well put it up here. And I make it invisible. And now I use it and go to this. First I gotta deselect and commit all this stuff. Yeah, I want to commit all that and commit all that and commit all that. Now back to the cyan layer. And no, back to the selection layer. Select cyan. If I know what I'm doing here, I'm good. I'm gonna get a cyan thing here. Yes, cyan. Here we go. I guess I better use this. So, not gonna win any awards for the most exciting video in the world. But we could make an argument for whatever the visual equivalent of ASMR is, because I doubt you're hearing too much. But what do I know? Maybe every time I scratch on this glass with this little plastic nib, you go, oh boy. Who would be you anyway? I don't know. Now, we're almost ready for the big this. We do that. I don't suppose there's any reason to actually make differentiations between that one dumb little bush and the rest of this composition. This frame, as it were. See, I cheated. I'm not gonna... I'll be hornswoggled if I'm gonna sit there and trace that whole thing for no reason. Alright, now... we certainly have a problem right here, don't we, folks? Let's delete that. go, whoops. Alright, we did that. Now what we're going to do is go to our selection layer, make it visible, go to a more appropriate brush, get rid of that. Now we've edited our selection layer. Now the next time we make a selection, it won't be wrong. And this time we're going to make a selection with the pen. Not a selection fancy, just simply like this. Now, we've got this, and we got to do our special trick, which is to duplicate, drop, and delete. Alright, duplicated, dropped, and deleted. Now, it's time to make it transparent so that when we go to the red, or should I say the magenta, before I go to the magenta, I'm going to grab that, and now I'm going to do the same painstaking trek across this panel with the red. Riding along the path of the bushes, that's what I'm doing right now. Just keeping myself amused, folks. If anybody was peeking in at this live stream, they might have heard me say, this is kind of fun. Once you wrap your head around the idea that you're going to spend the next 5 minutes doing this, it's kind of fun. I do know for a fact that this was more fun when I was a kid. And it's really, you want to know the simple reason? I don't say that as an emotional thing. It's very simple. First of all, when I was a kid, this was always real, markers and stuff. I'm sure plenty of people have played with real markers and stuff, but that's all we had, blah, blah, blah. And even if it was digital, this is more fun when you're a kid, because you're really experimenting with something new when you're a kid. Anyway, oops, that's fine. Yeah, this is gonna look really cool when it's done. What's that, you say? It looks cool already? Why, thank you. Alright, now we will make that like that, and then go to the yellow. Wait a minute, why did I put red in here at all? This should be yellow. It could be that color. No, I want it to definitely get green, so let's go with the yellow. We'll introduce the magenta if we feel it is warranted. Let's make this bad boy just like this, and we gotta trek across the desert of these bushes. Yellow, I'm always the most sloppy with because you can get away with it. Oh, I wonder how many people that might. It, well, you know what? I don't have to address anybody unless they address me. Oh, I haven't been addressed. Yeah, Bob Ross. Anybody know who Bob Ross is? What difference does it make? I know who he is. He's. Well, it's too late now. I'm done with the pretty little happy trees. Look at that green. Oh, I love it. But I'm going to ruin it because it's going to be. It's going to get changed to. I don't know what. It's going to look green, but I probably will put some red in it. Alright. Obviously, we could hide that. Now, we got our yellow. We gotta turn our blue. And we got red. And we have to make sure that's like that. Okay, so you see the mud, right? Let's go back to this blue and just get rid of this. And then let's see, what are we doing? Oh yeah, I'm just making an eraser. The blue is a little crazy. Alright, let's get to the fun part. We want this green, so let's touch blue last. Let's get the red going. Magenta is the proper term. Let's get that out of there. Like, oh, that can come out like 80%. We don't really need that, right? We don't need magenta. Now the cyan, that's supposed to go down about 20% anyway. Now I do say down, but I'm going up because when I say down, I'm not thinking about how it looks via luminosity. I'm thinking about how it looks via value. So I'm taking a light value and explaining how I'm saying it's less because it's less dense on the substrate, even though there's no substrate. That's why I have to increase the luminosity to decrease its value. Alright, we want something like 50%, and then I think we're gonna get the yellow out as well. Yeah. Let's get the yellow in about like that. How does that look? Let's see what print size looks like. I guess that's fine. This we want to capture. I want this all the same flavor. This is good. I like this right here. And it's appropriate too. And this is appropriate because this is supposed to be things are becoming clear. This is dead of night. And this is not dead of night. Even though you don't know that, but you see colors coming through. And this is going to be brighter. And now this is, of course, I've already decided that the sky is going to be a very light blue. I think I might just quit for now. Save this. I'll back it up. I must back it up. I must back out of the live stream. Good night.